Okay, today we're going to look at the level 4 technical drawing. As you can see, this one's a little bit tricky because now we have lines that are not just vertical or horizontal, but it's a diagonal. The reason we know it's a diagonal is because we have a line connecting these 2 points. This side is 1 inch high and this side is a 1/2 inch high, which means that there's a diagonal line going from here to here when we look at it on the side view. Before we start, of course, I'm going to write all my information up at the top, and I'm going to use a ruler as a guideline to do that. Now I can start drawing my top view. The top view should look pretty much like the top view from the level 1 drawing. That's because if we look down at this, the length of the top view is still going to be 2 inches, and the width of the top view is still going to be 1 inch. We're not dealing yet with this incline. So from the top, it's just going to look like this. I've got 2 inches here and 1 inch there. That's my top view. I'm going to go ahead and put in the darker lines now, but you could do it right at the end. Now the side view is where it's going to get a little bit tricky. The first thing I want to do is make my baseline. That's the bottom line in the side view. And again, I want to extend it into the front view so that that's the same baseline as the front view. If I look at the left side of the side view, it's 1 inch high. So I want to go up and measure 1 inch. And then on the right side, I'm going to go up and measure 1/2 inch. And then I can connect those. I want to go ahead and extend this top line over to the right, which is going to help me to keep my views lined up. And I can see in the front view it should only be 1 inch wide, so I'm going to go ahead and measure that on the baseline and bring those lines up as vertically as possible. I can use the lines on the border that I made to keep it parallel. The last line I want to be sure to draw is this line right here, which represents this edge. And if I'm lining everything up correctly, it should be parallel to the others and go right in the middle of these two. But if I wasn't sure, I could have measured 1/2 inch up and then just connected it to that point. Last thing I want to do is just clean up my drawing by going over the lines that are supposed to represent edges. Again, I like to do all the verticals at the same time, and then all the horizontals at the same time, and then all the diagonals at the same time. And as you do this more and more, you're going to find that that's the quickest way to get your drawing done. Oh, I missed one. And I'm going to leave the diagonal for last. And before I wrap everything up, I can sort of clean up with my eraser a little bit, because as nice as it is to have these lines showing that everything is lining up, you don't need them to be there. So if you want to, you can erase these lighter lines that you kind of used as structural lines, so that what's left is a nice clear object. And I could keep going and erase them right down to the corner. I'm not going to. You may. The last thing I want to do is put in my labels. So I'm going to go ahead and come up here and label the top view. And I'm just sort of eyeballing the size of the text that I need. Maybe I'll do this. it should be roughly the same size or smaller than the text that you used in the sort of nameplate on your drawing. So here we have top view in nice, clear capital letters. And that is what I expect of a completed drawing for the level 4. Just a few notes before I sign off. I taped my drawing down so it didn't move around. That was more for demonstration purposes, but you'll actually see that drafts people do this at their drafting tables sometimes. Also, I'm using a mechanical pencil, which is really great for technical drawing, which are also called mechanical drawings, and that's not a coincidence. However, of course, you can use whatever pencil you've got on hand. So that's the assignment, and I'm looking forward to seeing them completed.